So starting to understand how this framing system works, or trying to comply with current codes and such. My gain seems to be way up. Sorry if that's too loud. Trying to get the gain down. There we go. Ooh, now I'm getting feedback. So hopefully this won't be an awful video, but here, these are called MTW brackets, and they're used to put a ledger on, and this void between this 1x4 material, which I just turned green so I could tell it one place from another. I only turned it green just so I could see that, hey, this is just the batting that sits outside to hold my insulation, my exterior continuous insulation in place per 2021 IRC, well, actually IECC. So we are adopting some of that stuff up in here in Montana. It's getting, but it's not required yet because DEQ did write some regulations, but if my clients want that sort of efficiency in their homes, then we add it. So put in this 6 inches of mineral wool in here. Then the bats hold it in place, which you can't see them. I turn them off in the attic, but they're on down here in the lower layer. So there would be bat insulation that goes behind here, and then you fill up your bays like you would in a normal house. You have the bays as well. So you end up with about an R40 wall. To keep the thermal bridge from being broken, I use those brackets, and it's best shown down here because I have them installed. So they're installed, so the insulation, this actually does come with a foam insert. So you can have no thermal break except for this metal going out there and there. So it's a very thin, small break because all of this void would be filled with insulation. And then your ledger hangs on that to put up whatever framing you're going to deal with. And I still got to deal with what I've got going up here. But just to understand the general idea of how it's working. So when it comes to areas like this, I will be putting in the ledger board across the back to attach this to, which means that the ledger will go in place of where the siding is. And then I don't need the foam because I'm going right into my attic space, which is a controlled attic space. So there doesn't need to be anything but just the sheathing. Probably continues to house wrap just for simplicity. It has no thickness, so who cares? But the siding should be trimmed out all the way up to the top. And much like it is automatically trimmed right at the top up here by the roof, I would expect that this roof would trim this out. But if I go over to my plan view, you can kind of see that maybe it's my wall type that's causing the issue. Not sure. So when I click on my roof, let's see if I can grab my roof. Oh, I need to be on this guy. So my working drawing. So now when I grab my roof, let's tab, there we go, tab the roof. And what I did is I thought, well, maybe I'll just drag it back and it'll cut off the insulation and the siding back to where this wall is just in the gable space up above the bathroom. It doesn't invade the bathroom. So I try to put a break in it there, and that seems to work okay. It gives me the break nicely. But when I try and bring this back to this line to cut that out, it just snaps back to the same location it was. It's not, because I was hoping that would trim out what was going on up here, when it would trim out the material. Because you can see that's what I'm after right there. I want the roof to come back and trim out the insulation and the siding. And then I'd kind of have what I want because I'm going to frame back to that location. But it just snaps back into place. So that's what's going on. That's what I was hoping to solve. And that's kind of the understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish from a framing perspective. So stuff's fairly accurate. Like these are not 24 on center, they're 25 and 5/16 because they're 24 on center on the rake. So going to that level of accuracy to make sure that my plans are right and the count is right, because they are paying a premium to get the materials list. So that's the goal, is to have an accurate materials list, and I don't know how well Chief is set up for that yet, but hopefully that at least explains what I'm trying to do. Appreciate your help.